part 14 of the All Skills tutorial. Last time we went over how to one cycle Umu and then absorbed Monomin, and now we are going to make our way over to Great Slash. So you wake up from Monomin, and then you are going to head up here, inventory drop down, and then escape like you'd expect. Just dash when you can, and then wall climb up here, dash. From here, you can dash over here, and then use some wings and wall jumps to get up here. After that, dash and wings your way out. You don't need to worry about any soul collection at all for this split, because you're never going to use any of it. Once you get here, you can either climb your way up and wait for that those Luma flies again, like before, or there's a slightly faster strat where you can damage tank off of that jellyfish or the Luma flies themselves. So if you'd like to do that, that looks like this. And plowing through it just saves a little bit of time. I did it actually pretty poorly because I dashed too high, but you want to get a little bit lower, and if you're really fast, you can get under it in time. After that, you're just going to escape like normal. So a recent route difference now is as soon as you exit, you want to wings and dash your way up to this bench. This isn't for like health or anything. This is necessary because we're going to save quit back here after Great Slash. From here, we're going to just crystal dash and exit as normal. So as you exit archives, you're going to want to charge your nail art, and it's actually faster to just dash over to this door rather than to Crystal Heart. And then you can use a Cyclone to break it quickly. In this room, you can dash, jump, dash over that jellyfish entirely. So this next room has one little bit of RNG in it, or two, and I'm going to show it probably twice. So immediately as you enter, you're going to want to jump and try to wings up to this large jellyfish. Like this. After that, you can do little wall jumps from here to climb your way up, or you can just figure out what way is comfortable for you to climb up if you prefer something like that. The piece of RNG with that jellyfish is sometimes as you enter, it's in the middle of rising, so you can't actually get high enough to pogo it. If that happens, I recommend actually just pogoing the tentacles, which won't give you your double jump back, but it'll get it out of your way so you can hit it down and then climb up like you would normally. If you need it, there's probably a clip of that little backup strat somewhere in the Discord. After that, the other bit of RNG is up here with this jellyfish, because as you jump up, it can be really low, which can prevent you from going further without doing a damage tank. There's not a whole lot you can do about that. You just have to take the damage and keep going. So doing the whole room properly looks like this. Like that. Unfortunately, I took the extra little damage at the end there, but that was just me messing up. So one more time. So there's the RNG where it's rising as you enter. Just like that. In this room that we just entered, there's an airwalk that gives you a little bit of time save, as well as a little bit of a tight pogo later on. So as you enter, in this area right here, there's two corners that meet each other. Right here, as you can see. And what that means is if you dash and jump right off the center, it's considering you still on the ground. So if you saw when I did it before, you get 2 dashes in the air, which helps you get all the way to this platform without ever having to slow down. So as you enter the room, that'll look like this. Okay, I messed that up. Let's try that again. Just like that. So it's just dashing over this little lip and then jumping as soon as possible. Once you're up here, you can dash over here and continue your way through the room. Once you're at this part, we're going to want to continue our way through the room and head up here. a little optimization. So typically people will go through here and then go around or try to jump up through this little gap, which is a little tricky sometimes because you can bonk your head on either side. So I'm just going to go over a little optimization, which is as you climb up, okay, that enemy was not very friendly, you can pogo off of that background object and end up at the perfect height to wall jump off of this platform. This is just a minor time save, but it's very convenient to get through the area. After that, you're going to continue up through here. So in this room, as you enter, all of these blobbles are consistent. So if you go through this room the same way, they're always going to be in the same spot for you. The way I go through this room is I jump, neutral jump, and pogo off of that lamp. I'm going to show that a little more cleanly without the pause. But that'll look like this. So I neutral jump. I actually avoid pogoing that first one because it gives me too much height in order to dash and jump off of this lower platform here. Everyone has their own way of going through this room, so figure out what works for you. This is just personally what I do. And then you dash through to here. This room is primarily crystal dashes. You start by dashing off, crystal dash on here. It's a little finicky, so make sure to delay your press long enough that you still get it. Crystal dash until you break this background object, and then wings up to here and immediately start a crystal dash. That's because there's a moss creep spawning here and you don't want to get hit by it. Once again, once you break this lamp, you can wings up and avoid the second moss creep as you enter this next room. Cancel as you enter here, and from here is just dash and wings through the rest of the room. So this next room is the big gauntlet on the way to Great Slash. There's one minor optimization, but otherwise you can go through this room like pretty consistently whether you're using beginner or advanced strats. So I'm going to show the one cycle at the beginning that I'm talking about. That's the tough cycle to hit. So as you enter, you're going to be going around these like little thorn gaps here. And getting under this spiky enemy here is the tough cycle that I'm talking about. If you're not comfortable with it, once you reach this portion, you can just wait for it to get out of your way, and then you can go. Whatever you're most comfortable with. Once you reach this portion, you can just hold left, and you actually won't hit those spikes at all. So hold left, dash, until you reach this spot. Crystal dash, cancel it to avoid these spikes, and then you can either pogo off of this spiky enemy and do dash and wings up to here, or you can delay it and pogo off this background object. Pogoing off the background object is technically a little bit faster because there's some hit lag associated with hitting the enemies, but they're basically equivalent. Once you've done that and you're up here, walk off and do a crystal dash from here, canceling it as you enter the transition. So I'm going to do that room once in full and then move on. Holding left, making sure to cancel at the right spot, and then finally entering this next room. So once you're here, you can either jump dash up to here and then use wings to get up above those thorns, or the slightly tighter option, it doesn't save a whole lot of time, but it's a little bit, is wall jumping off of this platform here. Like that. As you can see, a little bit tighter doing it that way, but if you're worried about that, you can jump from the platform. After that, climb up. Make sure you don't accidentally grab this bench instead of entering. That's a pretty big disaster. But enter in here. I'm actually going to turn off these hitboxes now. And now we're getting our final nail art, being Great Slash. Just once again, for every nail master so far, mash through the text, hit yes, and then we are going to save quit back to that archives bench. So there will be a little bit more text. And we head back. So now that we have that, we need to pick up our final soul spell, which is Howling Wraiths. And we are just going to wake up at this bench again. So going to Howling Wraiths from here is rather quick. We're going to exit Archives the same way we did before, so just crystal dashing out of here. Now, you always crystal dash here, and then you have an option to either cancel it into the transition or keep going. I'm going to quickly talk about the differences, but for the most part, if you don't want it to be RNG and you want to be safe, just cancel it into the transition, which allows you to get through it the same way we did before. If you let it go, you're going to fly through, and this jellyfish is completely random. If it's right there, you'll knock it into here and be completely safe. It'll save you some time. About 50% of the time, it'll be down a little bit lower, so you'll hit its core into this wall, and it'll explode like the second you get here, taking 2 hits of damage. At this point, especially if you're a beginner, health is pretty vital. So taking those 2 hits of damage is a very big deal. So if you're just unsure about it at all, and honestly, basically any player, unless you're like really desperate for time save, should cancel when entering this room and then go the same way we did before. So going the same way we did before, the jellyfish is going to be dead, but that's not a big deal because you can always avoid it. Going through it the way we did before is just dash, dash as you enter, jump, dash, and then dash. As you're going through this next room, you want to get at least 2 hits of soul. And there's 2 convenient enemies to get it off of. If this big jellyfish is up in the ceiling like this, just dash under it. If you try to pogo it down into the acid, it'll get stuck up there and then potentially hit you for 2 damage, which again is quite bad. As you dash over here, you can pogo off of that jellyfish, and then if you don't accidentally wall jump there, you can pogo off this one, which is all the soul you need. From here, you can dash under, and then you're going to want to start a crystal dash off of the edge of this platform. This is just slightly faster than swimming through the acid. Once you reach this platform, you're going to want to cancel it a little bit after, and then double jump up to this platform. This only saves you time because you don't have to wait for those Luma flies up ahead. As you reach here, you're going to want to climb and then dash. If you want extra soul going in, potentially to heal or something, you can hit these guys. But for the most part, you only need those 2 hits of soul. Coming up is the Wraiths Arena, which I'll show a couple times, but with Shade Soul it goes very quickly. As you enter Mound, the first thing you want to do is actually, there's this big lip here, and you want to jump onto it and start a crystal dash. This is pretty important because there's 2 Vengeflies here, or Skeets rather, that you'll plow through with your crystal dash. They can get really in the way during this arena, so if you don't do that, they can be pretty obnoxious. Then as you continue through, you're just going to walk and then dash onto this big platform and get 2 hits on this mosquito. After that, you can go up and start the arena as normal. So I'm going to go through this arena once, and everything I do is consistent. So Shade Soul those first 2, pogo twice. And that's the whole arena already. So I'm going to go back and explain each of the 3 waves. They're relatively simple, but it's still good to know what to do when. I'd say the only tough part is getting the 2 hits without getting hit on the second wave. So as you first enter, do a Crystal Heart off of this little ledge, dash onto this big platform, and kill this mosquito. Okay, so this first wave, if this mosquito that was left charges at you immediately, just hit it away. It shouldn't bother you too much. For this first wave, Basically, as soon as this mosquito spawns, you want to fireball and dash off so that you can pogo the bottom one twice. If you take too long on this first fireball, the bottom mosquito can hide under a little ledge, which makes it significantly more difficult to kill it. Okay. So similar to that, which is, if it gets out of your way, it's a big problem. But I'll show it again later in the proper way. For the second wave, this mosquito you want to kill with 2 nail hits. And the proper way to do this, which is a little risky, is to do a side nail hit, immediately dash over and do an up slash. So the important thing to do here is just do your side slash far enough away that when you dash, you won't run into it, and then just do an up slash as you're falling. Generally, I go for a neutral dash here, because if I hold left, I tend to run into it. After that, you're just going to fall and Shade Soul the second one. Just like that. Finally here, 3 mosquitoes are going to be spawning. The one that needs to be killed immediately is this upper one, and you're going to jump up to it and just hit it with 2 up slashes. Okay, I'm going to have to reset the arena. But you're going to up slash that top mosquito twice, and then just drop down and do a final Shade Soul to kill the last 2. So once again, here, Shade Soul, pogo, pogo, and then hit this one twice and Shade Soul. I'm going to show the arena one more time, and then we are going to pick up Howling Wraiths. The mosquitoes can move a little bit differently sometimes, which is the only real source of RNG. But for the most part, these strats are consistent, and if you use them, you shouldn't lose too much time to RNG. So, Shade Soul, pogo, pogo. 2 hits, Shade Soul, then 1, 2, and a final Shade Soul. After that, you can climb up, hit that mosquito if it's in your way, and then dash directly into Howling Wraiths. So that's your first tier 1 spell that you need to pick up, and in the next video we're going to go all the way to Hera in Deep Nest, going over the dark rooms along the way.